Welcome back to Winning with Isaac, y'all. Today I wanted to talk on the topic of make a dollar, save 50 cents. See, I observed that a lot of people, they can't really digest this concept of making $1 and saving 50 cents of that dollar. First, I'm gonna tell you why. You know, it's crucial to save 50% of that dollar because that gives you margin, that gives you excess. You know, to be able to save, to be able to develop wealth, to be able to, combat some of the challenges of life, the unknown, the unexpected. You know, if you beat bopping in life all day long, and you make a dollar and you spend a dollar, and for a good portion of y'all, you make a dollar and you spend $1.25. I used to do this, y'all. I've got this certificate in stupidity when it comes to finance. I used to do this throughout my entire early 20s. I wouldn't say I'm really exaggerating because I've really been on it. I'm 30 years old now, I've been on this path for a decade. I started at 20, so really my late teens, early 20s. But then I started to figure something out. Hold on, Isaac, you can't do that. You got to snap back into it. How do we get to a point where we can save the vast majority of this money? I think it's not normal. It is normal, but it's so not normal. That don't even make sense. It's very weird that we do this. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say it's very weird that we make a dollar and we spend a dollar, or we make a dollar and we spend $1.25, and that puts us in debt. But we don't think about it like that. We just think about, we're living life. Beat bopping around. I can get what I want. I want a nice car. I go get a nice car. I put it on payments. I want this. It looks good in the store. I go swipe a credit card. It's piss poor behavior, y'all. And if you want to develop a form of wealth in your life, you're going to need to figure out a way where you can make a dollar and save 50% of that dollar. See, when you can operate off of 50 cents of that dollar, that places you in a space where, man, life get good. Life get good. Now, is it difficult? Yes. If you're making $4,000 a month, you're telling me that you want me to live on $2,000 a month? How the heck I'm gonna do that? I understand. I'm right there with you. I've done it though. You might need to get a roommate. The largest portion of the average person's budget is what? The home, rent. So we need to decrease that down drastically. If we're making $4,000 a month, your budget literally needs to look like this. A quarter of that money goes where? To housing. That's $1,000. That leaves you with $1,000. Well, a lot of people say, well, I need to pay my car payment. I got credit cards. I got insurance. I got utilities. Utilities and all that. That should be incorporated into the housing budget. I got car payments, I got credit cards, I got this, I want to do fun stuff, I want to ball out. Well, look at this, Mr. and Mrs. Ball Out. That ain't how life works. I want to really stretch you. I want to stretch you to try and live on 50% of your monthly take-home pay. If that means you got to get a roommate, I've had roommates throughout my entire life. I've had multiple roommates because it cuts the cost down. Was I living in a shack? No, a lot of times I was living in a pretty nice establishment. Pretty nice place. You know, shared. This is the life we live in, y'all. I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all could wish it was different. Y'all could think it is different. That's not how it is. The vast majority of y'all, if you single, you probably need a roommate. Or you're gonna be struggling. Not even struggling, but you might not be struggling. But you're not gonna be setting yourself up in a position where you can really build wealth over your lifetime. Some of y'all may say, well, screw it, I don't need no wealth. Well, it is what it is. Do what you want to do. I'm speaking to the people who want to build a form of wealth. You know, I'm not speaking to people who just want to ball out every day. I'm speaking to people who want to build wealth over their lifetime. Large amounts of wealth. Now, are you going to have to live with roommates your entire life? No. But maybe for 5 years, you may have to live with roommates to really establish a foundation of wealth. I had to do that, y'all. Now, do I have to do that? Not so much. These days, my income has really drastically gone up. You know, I've really developed. But before the age of 25, I was, you know, the development had been formed. The foundation had been formed financially. By the time I was 30, you know, we were creating something. We were building upwards. You know, I'm 30 years old now. Now we're not developed. We're not trying to figure out where we're going to pour the concrete. No, like the concrete has been laid. We're building upwards now. Now we can figure out, okay, all right, you know, how about buying a house now? How about if we're going to rent, how about we just rent our own space? Because in my life, I can only speak from me, really. In my life, I've built the foundation. We're building up now. There's savings, there are emergency funds, there's retirement accounts. You know, the income is going up drastically. And I keep the bills so low. Yes, in my early 20s, in my 20s, I was able to lay the foundation and build up and do all that cool stuff with money. However, those moments where I was staying with roommates, I was keeping my expenses low. What was it doing? It was ingraining into my mental. It was ingraining into my mental concepts, into my mental framework. This is how we live. No. We don't go and spend all that money on housing. No, we don't do that. Even now, I don't spend large chunks of money on housing. No, I keep it at 25% or less. Currently, right now, it's way less than 25%. Could I go spend 25%? Yes. Will I here soon? Probably. But even if I don't, I'm cool. I'm comfortable. I've developed that sense of comfort. I've developed that I'm okay. I'm good with what I got. I don't need that much more. I didn't set such a high standard of living that I couldn't save 50% of my income. I can't remember the last time I wasn't able to save 50 or more percent of my income, because that's how I've structured my life. I have structured my life in that manner. I don't want to struggle, y'all. Some of y'all cool with struggling. It's not fun for me to struggle. I am tactical. I am methodical. I have a method behind what I am doing with my money. And that's where I think a lot of people fail. They don't have a structured plan on how they're going to use their money. I write my budget every month. I track my expenses every day. Every night I sit down on the floor in that very humbled manner, on my knees, and I do my budget. I track my expenses. And what has that developed in my life? It's allowed me to live on 50% of what I make. I don't need more than 50% of what I make to live a good life. So, make $1 and save 50 cents. You got to break free from debt. That is the actionable step, y'all. I emphasize this on almost every video. You must break free from a life of debt. Get rid of the credit cards. Shred them. Cut them up. You gotta break free from it. Quit financing vehicles. If you must finance the vehicle, that might mean you cannot afford to pay cash for the vehicle. So that might also mean that you cannot afford the vehicle. But people just beat bopping around, you know, in this car lot, in that car lot, in this store, swipe a credit card, put this on payments, sign this note. And we wonder why we make $4,000 a month and our bills are $4,000 or more. You wonder why you make money and you don't have any money left over to save or to develop a form of wealth over your lifetime. You make decent money, you piss it all away in payments because you want to look cool at the stoplight, because you want to be dressing fancy and have on nice watches and nice clothes and all that. I like all that stuff too. I just don't put them on payments. I go pay cash for it. I don't want to lie to y'all, but I'm gonna be real with you. 98% of the money that outflows my life is cash money. I don't care if I just had to go pay something for somebody. Just in a generous act. Just wanted to go bless them. I could have went and paid with my debit card, but instead I went right to the ATM. I pulled out those hundreds and I went and paid it. That's how I live my life. I don't even want to structure my life in a manner where I think it's cool to just go swiping money, swiping credit cards, and you looking around, and next thing you know, you done ran up this entire big old bill. I want to feel it. When that money departs from my possession, I want to feel it. I don't want this spending money thing to be just something it's a subconscious, it's an unconscious behavior that I just partake in. I'm not with that, man. It needs to be a conscious decision that I have thought out over a few days or months or years. Now I'm going to go spend that money. It's been planned. The Bible says that. Write the vision and make it plain. Don't start building the tower unless you have counted the cost. Unless you get all the way up and they say and get all the way up and you cannot finish. And then the people around you say he who started to build and could not finish. That's piss poor behavior. I'm not talking down to you. I'm not talking at you. I'm trying to speak life into your situation. Because I know the vast majority of y'all are struggling financially. It's a challenge. Money is a challenge. And I'm not saying you're like, oh, I'm barely making it. But for the vast majority of y'all, you're trying to figure it out. This stuff is not just easy. Some of this stuff is really complicated when it comes to money. What do I spend on? What don't I spend on? What do I sacrifice? Where do I allow myself to go through a little bit of discomfort? I'm going to have a roommate, which isn't, that comfortable, but I'm going to be in a little bit of discomfort for maybe 4, 5, 6 years until I can clean up this mess and get organized and get on a solid, clear path to where I'm trying to go financially. I'm trying to speak life into your situation. I'm not trying to speak at you, speak down to you. I need you to understand, though, it ain't going to change unless it changes. You're not going to change your financial situation unless you begin to change the way you handle the money. You live in on 100% of what you make, and you wonder why you're broke. That's a formula for a lot of pain in your future. So we just need to figure out a way, how do we live on, we make the dollar, how do we live on 50 cents and be able to save the other 50 cents? It's not a tomorrow thing. That don't happen tomorrow. But I am saying over time, you can get yourself to a point where you were spending 100% of what you made every month. Now we brought it down to now we only spend 75% of what we make. And then we bring it down. Oh, now we only spend 50% of what we make. We're only required to spend 50% of what we make to live a decent life. That takes some discomfort. That takes some methodical thinking. You don't just jump off the helicopter and say, hey, we're gonna go take this building. That don't happen. You do it in a methodical manner. You set up the troops. You set up the form of transportation. Or we're going to take a helicopter. We're going to take X amount of troops. We're going to land these troops here. Our support crew is going to be here. If we run into issues from a mechanical standpoint, we're going to go here and they're going to fix it. Because once we have the troops here, those troops have to go where? Back home. So if we run into issues, we need to have a set point where we can go and we can fix that issue so we can then go get the troops so we can then exfil them off the objective. It's a methodical thing. It's thought out. Not today. Some things happen in a day, but majority of the times it happens over time with a lot of thought. We can plan the mission and have dudes on target tonight, but we weren't able to do that years ago. Years ago, it took us weeks, months to be able to get to a point where we could drop troops on a building and let them take a building, go get what they need to go get, and then make it home safely. We weren't capable of doing that quick before. Before it was a longer, drawn out process. Now we're able to just do it quick. Now we're just able to live on 50% of what we make. Because we've done it so many times. It's the repetition portion of it, y'all. You don't just make $1 and just be able to save 50% of it and live a decent life. No, it's a repetitive motion. It's repetition. We practice too. Every night we practice. Every night we go into the budget and we track our expenses. We see where we're at. We're seeing what is our trajectory for the month. Where are we going to land? Are we going to be over that 50%? Are we going to be spending more than what we brought in this month and we're going to have to survive on credit cards? Every day, every night we're tracking it. We're on top of it. It's repetition. It's repetition. You don't get to a point where we're able to do, cool stuff and drop and take over entire compounds with dozens and dozens of people in it. You don't get to that point overnight. It's repetition. You got to practice. You got to think on it. Practice. Plan it out. Practice. Implement this into your life, into your structure. Hey, we live on everything right now. We make $4,000 and our bills are $4,000. We make $4,000. We're required to spend $4,000 every month to survive. Some months we're barely making it. All right, how do we get to be able to save 50 cents of every dollar? All right, well, we got that darn car out there. It might be time. Y'all might not want to hear it. It might be time to get rid of that car. Cut that car out of your life and go buy something that you can afford. You might need to drive a $3,000 vehicle. A $3,000 vehicle? Yes, a $3,000 vehicle. I've driven $3,000 vehicles for the past over a decade now. Do I want a nicer car? Absolutely. Not absolutely, truthfully. Truthfully, I really don't care about the cars. Would it be nice? Yeah, it would be nice. But it's not a great priority. I'm more focused on A to B. Can it get me from A to B? Cool. That's a good mental model for your own financial life. Can it get you from A to B? Or it gets you from A to B. Do you have an issue here and there once or twice a year? Of course, yes. It's an older vehicle. But it gets you from A to B and allows you to decrease what you're outflowing every month. And it gives you that excess, that margin, that cushion. And cushion will put this smile on your face. Excess will put the smile on your face. You'll be spirited. You'll be jovial. When you're making $4,000 and your bills are only $3,000, dang, we're moving the needle. We're moving towards only living on $2,000. Right now we're living on $3,000, but we're gonna figure out how we can bring that down. Why do you want to live on 50 cents of every dollar and be able to put the other 50 cents up? Because life get good. Life ain't so angst. Life ain't so anxiety filled. Trying to figure it out, man. How I'm gonna make it work? I don't know. That's mad weird. It's called you have taken on too much. That's called we need to make a change. Sir, ma'am, make a change. Because the way you live in is not going to produce a life of wealth. It's not going to produce a life of joy. It's going to continue to produce a life of what? Fear. And that's what the financial institutions, the credit card companies, the car loan companies, they want you in fear. Be fearful that your car is not going to start today when you go to work because you chose to drive a $3,000 or $4,000 vehicle because you're listening to this guy named Isaac online and he's got you out here with your car broken down. How many times have I honestly had an issue with my car? Very, very few. Over the year, I might have one issue that's a major setback. We go get it fixed in the day. We live in America. But they want you, so what they want you to do is what? Now come over here and let me pimp you out. Come over here, be my slave. You're going to drive this car. $20,000, $30,000, runs perfect, no issues. You just pay us every month and you bring that cash here, baby. Baby girl, when you make that money, you bring that money here, all right? Sir, when you make that money, you bring that money you bring it to Toyota. You bring it to Ford when you make that money. You bring it over here, mama. Baby girl, come on, boy, come here. You bring that money to me. That's what the financial institutions want you to think. Oh, my safety net is weird. In the credit card, in my MasterCard, in my American Distress card, in my car loans. Oh, my safety is in you. Toyota, your reliable cars. BMW, Mercedes, Ford, Chevy. Oh yeah. I'm really safe with you guys. That's how pimps do. They pimping you. No, your safety needs to be in God. Your faith needs to be in God. He gonna help you with everything else. He gonna help you find a car that's gonna be reliable. If you think it out and you're methodical and you're not just getting off the helicopter, we're running to the building. Let's just take the building. No, it's methodical. It's a methodical manner to take a building. To land troops on a building, to land troops next to a building, to make that much movement. No, it's a methodical, calculated path. But we free willy-nilly out here with our money. Free willy-nilly. Beat bopping in different stores and different car lots and wonder why we broke. Again, I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking at you. I'm not trying to really tell you what to do. I'm trying to speak life into your situation. Look, y'all, you can win. But like I always say, you got to damn sure want to win. It's a beautiful day out here, man. I'll tell you that. Life get good when you're debt free. Life get good. Start to be able to enjoy the prosperity of America. But America don't seem like that American dream if you're doing what? Living in a bunch of debt. That's all I was trying to say today, y'all. I'm out of here. That's all I was trying to say. You make $1, you need to be saving 50 cents of that dollar. It's just how it goes. I don't know another way to put it. Or you're going to be in misery your whole life. So figure out a roommate situation. Figure out a way to decrease how much it costs for you to live on a daily basis. You got to decrease this stuff, y'all. You know, there's people out here winning. People out here winning. I mean, they're able to be outrageously generous. You need that? Let me think on it for a second. Give me a few weeks. Let me think on it. Yeah, I can't do the whole thing, but I could do a good portion of it for you. Here, let me drop that on you. That feel good to be generous. I'm not just trying to get rich to be rich. Oh, I got a lot of money. No. You want to get wealthy so you can be outrageously generous. Don't you? Aren't you tired of seeing people around you trying to figure it out? You be out, and when you get good with money, guess what? People around you start to get good with money. The people around you start to get good with money. Just from you doing the work. What's the work look like? The work looks like sacrifice. The work looks like discomfort at times. So, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. You can win. But like I always say, you got to damn sure want to win. Might be time to go in that wallet, cut them credit cards up. Peace. And thanks for stopping by.